The story of Alana Green. The faint glow of the street lights cast long shadows across the cracked sidewalk, as Alana Green walked home from her shift at Rose's Diner. Her legs throbbed with each step, after an exhausting 8-hour shift. The faint scent of French fries clung to her hair, and her work uniform, simple black pants and a polo, was stained with grease. As Alana adjusted her backpack, she dipped her hand into her pocket, and counted her tips for the third time that night. $79.87, she whispered to herself, fingers moving carefully through the crumpled bills and coins. Her total savings now stood at $212. Still not enough for all the college application fees, but closer than she'd been yesterday. One more double shift, she thought. And maybe she could finally submit her application to Howard University. The autumn air was crisp, and the storefronts along Juniper Street were dark, their windows reflecting her shadow as she passed. She tucked her denim jacket tighter around her shoulders, the weight of her chemistry textbook in her backpack, a constant, if comforting, presence. A low hum pulled her attention to her left. Headlights. A police cruiser. Alana's pace remained steady, but her shoulders tensed. Just routine patrol, she told herself, forcing her breathing to stay even. But the cruiser didn't pass her. It crawled along behind her, engine purring low, like a predator stalking its prey. When the sirens blared, their harsh wail shattered the stillness of the evening. Blinding lights bathed her in white, turning the world into stark contrast of light and shadow. Hands where we can see them. Get on the ground now, barked a voice from the cruiser's loudspeaker. Frozen, Alana stood with her hands trembling in the air, as two officers sprang from the vehicle, weapons drawn. Officer Grant Reynolds, stocky and pale, with close-cropped gray hair and cold, unblinking eyes, grabbed Alana by the arm, and shoved her hard against the hood of the cruiser. The hot metal seared her cheek. Her backpack was ripped away, its contents, her notebook, tip money, and a tube of cherry lip balm, spilling onto the pavement. I don't understand, Alana stammered, panic squeezing the air from her lungs. What did I do? Reynolds ignored her, his gloved hands twisting her wrists into cuffs that bit deep into her skin. Armed carjacking 3 blocks away. You match the description. No, I was at Rose's all night. Check the cameras. Talk to my manager. Alana's voice cracked, as Reynolds hauled her upright, ignoring her cries. The second officer, Marcus Hayes, stood a few feet back, his expression uncertain, as Reynolds pushed Alana into the back of the cruiser. Phones were out. Bystanders filmed from the sidewalk. Their faces, a blur of silent judgment. Not one stepped forward. Through the cruiser's window, Alana watched her world shrink away, her chemistry book fluttering open on the sidewalk, pages lifting in the breeze like broken wings. Her heart hammered, as they sped toward the police station. The station smelled of bleach and stale coffee. Under the glare of harsh fluorescent lights, Alana was fingerprinted, photographed, and searched. Her hoodie was taken. They left her shivering in a thin t-shirt. She was thrown into a holding cell with 3 other women. Their faces expressionless, their bodies weary. Don't I get a phone call? Alana finally asked an officer during shift change. You'll get one eventually, he sneered, walking past. Hours passed. The unchanging fluorescent light, making it impossible to tell night from day. Finally, a rumpled public defender arrived. I'm Gavin Pierce, he said, without meeting her eyes. We need to prepare for your hearing. I'm innocent, Alana pleaded. I was at work. We'll talk strategy, he said quickly. No time now. In court the next morning, Alana shuffled in, wearing her stained diner uniform. Judge Raymond Caldwell sat at the bench, his silver hair gleaming in the morning light. His eyes were cold as stone. The prosecutor laid out the charges with dramatic flair. Armed carjacking. Terrorizing an innocent victim. Fleeing the scene. When Pierce tried to argue for a delay, to gather evidence, surveillance footage from Rose's diner, time card records. Caldwell cut him off. The victim identified the defendant. The evidence is clear. I was at work. You can ask. Silence. Caldwell barked. In one swift, cruel moment, he sentenced her to 5 years in juvenile detention. Her mother, Deidre Green, screamed from the gallery. Her little sister, Mia, stood frozen beside her, clutching their mother's hand. But Mia wasn't done. As the bailiffs dragged Alana away, Mia yanked out Deidre's phone, and made a call. Daddy. Mia's voice quivered. It's Alana. The courtroom stilled. The doors slammed open. U.S. Attorney General Julian Green strode in, his presence crackling like a summer storm. Release my daughter, Julian said, in a voice that silenced the room. Judge Caldwell's smirk disappeared. He straightened in his seat, his knuckles white on the bench. Mr. Green, this is my courtroom, Caldwell said, trying to regain control. Your position holds no authority here. Julian's eyes, cold and calculating, never wavered. Then you won't mind if I give this case my personal attention. Panic flickered behind Caldwell's gaze. Remove the defendant, he ordered quickly, but the weight of Julian's stare was a promise. This isn't over. Outside, media swarmed. Attorney General Green, is your daughter innocent? Cameras flashed. Microphones thrust forward. Inside his home that evening, Julian and his legal team worked around the clock. But every door closed. Witnesses recanted. Evidence vanished. Court clerks misplaced files. Someone was pulling strings. Julian made a final call. Maya Sterling, he said, to the investigative journalist on the other end. I need your help. The following days were chaos. Mia unearthed emails, financial records, and testimony from whistleblowers. Judge Caldwell wasn't just corrupt. He was part of a quota system with private juvenile detention centers. Every conviction padded his pockets. Maya's exposé went live. Headlines screamed. Private prisons payoffs. Judge Caldwell implicated in juvenile injustice scandal. Protests erupted. Federal investigations launched. Caldwell shredded documents in his chambers, but the evidence was overwhelming. Secret bank accounts. Kickbacks. Quotas. Meanwhile, Alana languished in Greystone Juvenile Detention Center. Warden Max Draper ran it like a fortress. Alana endured freezing nights, violent guards, and humiliation. Sasha King, her cellmate, taught her how to survive. You keep your head down, Sasha whispered. And you fight when it counts. But Alana's beating in the yard by Officer Burke almost broke her. They tried to silence her. They failed. Julian and Mia built an airtight case. Nathan Brody, a former guard, came forward with log books and videos. The dots connected. Public outcry soared. The final blow came with security footage from a gas station, showing 2 white teens stealing the car. Alana had been accused of carjacking. Julian's team found the tape before Caldwell's cronies destroyed it. A federal judge overturned Alana's conviction. She was released into the arms of her mother and Mia. Caldwell was arrested, charged with corruption, conspiracy, and abuse of power. Draper and Burke were next. But Alana's story didn't end there. She enrolled in Howard University's pre-law program, her goal clear. Fight for those left behind. Sasha's letters from Greystone reminded her of the work still to be done. At graduation, Alana stood tall. Her diploma wasn't just paper. It was proof that they hadn't broken her. Her first case, a class action lawsuit against the very private prison company that profited from her pain. I'm not here just for me, she said, to a room full of young activists. I'm here for every kid still trapped in that system. The fight wasn't over. It was just beginning.